Right.
Yeah, Dennis O'Brien. How are you today, Dennis?
I'm fine, thank you.
That's good. So, Dennis, I'm just going to have you look over this way just if you can.
Okay.
That way I can see you
Yeah.
on. So I have 2 questions I was going to ask you today. First off, where did you grow up?
I grew up in Amherst, Mass.
Oh, okay. So, did you live there most of your life, or were you there just for like a short time?
I'd say we were there for a good long time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And did you raise your family in Amherst as well?
No, I was married in Amherst, and I had a job in East Hampton, Mass. And soon after I started that job, we had bought a home in Florence.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Right outside of Northampton.
Yeah, and we lived in Florence for 45 years.
45. Wow, that's quite a while. So, how many children did you have?
I have 3 boys. I'll tell you a little thing about my youngest son, Michael. He's 64, and he's lived in that same house since he was 5 weeks old.
Oh, so he lives in the Florence house now?
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah.
Nice. Very nice. So, how old? So he's 64. He's the youngest.
He's the youngest boy. I have 3 of them. Yeah.
Okay. And how old are the other 2 boys?
One's 65 and one's 66.
Oh, so you had them one right after the other.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow. Okay. And you're married first time to who was your first wife?
Pardon?
Who was your first wife?
Phyllis. We were married in '50, and she died in 1980.
1980.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I'm sorry to hear that. What schools did you go to? Amherst School?
One what?
What schools?
Oh, I went from grade school. I went to grade school in Holyoke, where we lived in the middle 30s, and then either during the flood or the hurricane in 36 or 38, I don't know what year it was, we moved to Amherst. And I went to school there, and I stayed there until I finished junior high, and I went to Smith School, which is a trade school in Northampton.
Yeah, I've heard of that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, what trade did you learn?
Pardon?
What trade did you learn?
Oh, auto mechanic.
Okay.
But I didn't follow it.
Oh no? What did you end up going into?
I've had a lot of things. I've worked. When I graduated in 48, I went to work in Amherst in the Chevrolet garage, and then I worked up to UMass for a few years, and I've done this and done that, and I've made fireproof doors in East Hampton. I've been a custodian. My last job, I was a custodian at Barnes Air National Guard Fighter Base in Westfield.
Okay, yeah, I know.
That's where I retired from.
Nice. So you've had a variety of jobs over
Yes.
your lifetime.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's great. Great. Did you have any siblings?
What? Pardon?
Any siblings, brothers or sisters?
I had two half brothers. My mother was married twice,
Okay.
and they were both in World War II, and thank God they were both in World War II, but they're fine. They come out without a scratch.
Oh.
But they're both gone now.
Yeah.
And I still have one sister living in Amherst.
Oh, you have a sister living in Amherst.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you get to see her much?
Oh yeah, she called. She knows I'm having sight problems, so she calls me once every 2 or 3 weeks, because I can't see to dial the phone.
Oh, right. Is she a younger sister or older?
Oh, she's I'd say she's 86, 87.
Okay. So a little bit younger than you. Cause
Yeah.
How old are you again?
I'm 93.
93. Wow.
Yeah.
That's great. And I know I see you out walking around a lot. So
Oh yeah.
you get your
That's what keeps
exercise.
me going, I think.
Yeah, for sure. And I know you come to my exercise classes, and that's great to hear. It's great to see too. So, do you have any grandchildren?
I have two grandsons and two great grandsons.
Great.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're in North Carolina, and one's about 2 or 3, and the other one's he's a new little guy. He's only like maybe 6 months old.
Oh wow. Yeah, that's real little, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. So do you get to see them through like maybe a computer on like a?
No, because of my eyesight, they can send me pictures, but I just can't make it out.
Yeah.
I've never seen them,
Oh, that's unfortunate.
but they're coming up this summer, I think.
Oh.
If the COVID's okay.
Yeah. That would be great for you to get to
Yeah.
see them.
Yeah.
Yeah. How about any favorite family memories? Anything stick out?
My family.
Yeah. Any family memories that you can remember that were?
Well, my kids were small. I mean, real small. I worked in East Hampton, and the factory I worked in, they shut it right down for 2 weeks. It didn't matter whether you wanted to go on vacation or not, they shut it down. Everybody was on vacation at the same time.
Yeah.
And we used to go camping
Oh, nice.
up to Lake George, New York.
Lake George.
And
That's up
we that's up. We used to go up to Ticonderoga.
Okay.
That's
I've heard
they make a
that.
lot of paper up there.
Yeah.
And we met folks that lived up there, that camped out there for the weekends and stuff, and I think that was the most enjoyable times I ever had, because my wife and my 3 little guys, and it was just so enjoyable.
Now, did you stay in did you stay in a camp?
Stayed in a tent, yeah,
Tent?
Rogers
Yeah.
Rock State Park,
Oh, wow.
in a tent.
Yeah.
And each year, you went to the camping store and bought something to help you enjoy life more. Every year, of course, you had a trailer you pulled behind with all your stuff in the trailer.
Sure.
And the kids, we had a station wagon, and
Yep.
all the kids were in the back, so
Yeah.
that worked out good. But it was just so much fun.
Yeah. Sounds like a fun time, for sure.
And another time that I enjoyed very much was my 3 boys played Little League, and they were all on the same team.
Oh, yeah, because they're all pretty close to
Yeah.
me, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That made it convenient, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. You weren't running
Yeah.
from one game to another.
And I used to help the coach with the kids to practice ball
Oh,
and
did you?
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. How did they like all being on the same team?
They did.
Yeah.
I had 2 kids were catchers, and one was in the outfield. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Nice. And they played for what school?
Pepsi Cola in Florence used to be.
Oh, in
Pepsi
Florida.
Cola had
Right.
a factory up there,
Yep.
and he sponsored
They
the team.
sponsored it, yeah. Right. Did they end up continuing to play in high school?
No, when they're smaller than before they played for Pepsi, they played in the farm. I think the farm league. I think they call it the real little guys when they first get started, learn how to play.
Yep.
Yeah, that was enjoyable too.
Yeah. That's good.
Yep.
Good. How about any, do you have a favorite holiday at all?
Holidays.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I don't think so.
No, nothing in particular that you would think. How about, I know we've talked about music when you come out for my music memories group, but I'm going to ask you again. So what kind of music would you like or do you like to listen to?
Well, I can't see the TV very well, and I have the radio, but I don't get many channels. But my
Do you have a favorite singer or favorite group?
oh, I have a lot of groups. I like the new people like Karen Carpenter. I like them. They're really good.
Carpenters,
Yeah, and
you
I like the '50s music.
50s, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I got this little tape player here. Somebody had put some disc out there. Is that what they call them?
Oh, were they like
Like small one.
Yeah, the round ones?
Yeah.
Yeah, like CDs.
And
Yeah.
I took them because they were for the taking.
Yeah.
Then my son get me this player, and I listen to that most of the time.
Oh, good.
But when I go to some tag sales, I got to look around and see if I can find some more discs
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
summer.
Right.
I like piano music.
You act like classical?
Well, I don't know. I like to hear, like, if you know Roger Miller,
Yeah.
he plays Autumn Leaves.
Okay.
Yeah, I like that, and I like
We'll have to play that next
I like
time.
honky tonk piano too.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, we'll have to play that for our music memories.
Yeah.
We'll have to remember that you like that song.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's good. Good. How about pets? Did you ever have any pets?
Pets?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we always had a hound dog.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Yeah. Over the years, they were always loose or something. You got them from somewhere. That was in a neighborhood. Usually somebody moved out or something, and sometimes they asked us if we wanted to take the dog because they were moving out of town or something. So,
Right. Right.
we do that, but yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. Let's see. Somebody's already asked us. What about meals? Do you have a favorite meal? Breakfast, lunch, or dinner? Or
No, of course, for 50 years that I worked or whatever, I always had sandwiches
yeah.
at noontime.
Right. Yeah,
But,
that seems to be the
you know,
traditional lunch meal.
But no, I don't. And then had to be at work at 7 o'clock in the morning, so I didn't really have a chance to get up and
Have a big
go and have a good breakfast. You know, you
Yeah.
just grab something.
How about on the weekends? Did you make a big breakfast for yourself on like a Saturday or Sunday morning?
Yeah, I'll tell you, at Christmas time, I used to make the kids eat breakfast before they open their presents.
I did the same
And
thing.
they don't like that. They didn't like that.
Right.
But I made them eat breakfast first.
Right.
I don't know why I did it, but
Yeah.
I did it. But they weren't very pleased.
Right. Yeah. That's so
But
funny you said
that's
that.
all right.
Same thing. Yeah. So, now did you have any hobbies, or do you have any hobbies now?
I used to, when I bought my home, we have no basement. It's on a slab. And I'm used to having a cellar.
Sure.
Or a basement, or whatever you want to call it. So when my father-in-law died, he left some money to my 3 boys, and I found out later that he had enough money to put up a 20 by 20 shed out back for me on my property, and I certainly enjoyed that. I used to put around,
Yeah.
fix things if I could. And I always had people around. If I had something I couldn't do, they'd come and do it. I used to like to refinish furniture.
Oh, okay.
The old Victrolas used to crank up with the crank on the
Yeah.
side, the real ones.
Yeah.
You know, about that tall.
Right.
Yeah. People used to bring me stuff, and like oak tables bigger than this stuff, like for a dining room table.
Yep.
And I used to refinish them. I don't know. It was just fun.
Something to do. Right.
Some I refinished and sold them. I used to put on garage sales at the house, and I enjoyed doing that. You didn't make a whole bunch of money, but I just enjoyed doing it.
Yeah. Meet a bunch of different people.
Different
right?
people, yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Well,
Yeah.
that's good. That's good. Did you ever play any sports?
Say what?
Did you ever play any sports, or did you ever golf?
Sports?
Yeah.
Yeah, I graduated from Smith School in 1948, and I played baseball for a couple of years.
You were a baseball player?
Yeah.
How about after high school? Did you engage in any other sports?
Well, when I went to work, my wife, God bless her, used to say, I want you to, some of the guys at work used to get out and play golf on Saturday. And we talk about that, you know. She says, I want you to go out and play golf and relax. So we used to go up to Greenfield.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and different places
You were
on
golfing
Saturday.
for a while.
Yeah. It was enjoyable.
Yeah.
You're out in the fresh air,
Sure.
because I was stuck inside all week. And,
Yeah.
yeah,
Something to do.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I belonged to the Army Reserve for many, many years, and I used to have to go drill on the weekend once a month. So you couldn't go play golf that particular weekend, but
Right. Where did you go drill?
I started in Northampton. Do you know where the Armory is in Northampton? On King Street? No. Then they built a new one up in Leeds.
Okay.
Yeah. I've been to both of them.
Let's see. How about, I was going to ask if you like to read, but now that you can't really see, did you ever like to read?
No, I never cared for it.
Wasn't your thing, huh?
I wanted to get out of school and go to work.
Yeah.
Me and work were fine. We had a good relationship. I didn't mind going to work.
Oh, well, that's good. I know a lot of people don't like their jobs, so that's great.
Well, they shouldn't be working there then.
Yeah, you're right?
Yeah.
Switch to something they enjoy doing. Yeah. How about movies? Did you ever watch movies?
Oh, yeah. When I was a kid growing up in Holyoke, we used to go to the Bijou Theater on Main Street for 10 cents.
10 cents.
And that was back in middle 30s.
Yeah.
And when you went every week, this week they'd give you you could get a whole plate setting. 1 week you go, you get the cup. Next week you go for 10 cents, and you get the saucer, and then you get the plate, and then you get the silverware.
So
First thing you know, you get a whole plate setting.
Wow.
If you go every week.
Right. Huh.
For 10 cents.
Crazy.
And you saw. I used to like the old Western movies. John Wayne, when I was a kid, was just getting started then, kinda. Yeah.
Yeah. Huh. So would you say that you like more adventure kind of movies growing up and?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Of course, then they made a lot of different movies during World War II. And I was only 14 years old when that started in 1941. What?
I just got a couple more questions for you. One is, what would you say would be one of the most rewarding things about getting older?
Getting what?
Getting older. Have you found anything rewarding about getting older?
I retired when I was 65,
Yeah.
but I wasn't ready to do that, but I didn't know at that time. When I retired, I enjoyed it for a little while, but then I get very bored, and I had to look for things to do, either around the house or go finish some furniture or help one of the neighbors. Like in the wintertime, when I got the snowblower out, I go around and do everybody's driveway in the neighborhood because they were still working. And it's nice to come home in the winter to have your driveway no snow. You can drive right in.
Sure, I'm sure they must have been very appreciative of that.
Yeah. They used to bring me over cookies and stuff like that. And,
Nice.
but when I was working, I had to shovel out before I went to work, and then shovel out again when I came home.
Yeah.
So when I retired, and Helen too, my wife, she'd get out there, she'd shovel. You know, where I couldn't do with the snowblower.
Right.
But you were all dressed and you weren't cold. You're out, you might as well stay for a while.
Sure.
Enjoy it.
Get
So
some fresh air.
that's what I did. But, yeah.
That's nice. And how about last one? If you could go back, okay, if you could go back to any age, what age would it be?
Oh boy.
Is there any particular age that you really, or time period in your life that you really liked over another?
I don't know. I think back today, and I think about today, and I think the best times of my life was before and during World War II. When you're growing up,
Right.
things people were a whole lot different then than they are now. I can remember growing up before the war, the neighborhood would get together and go down the river, live close to the river, and bring hot dogs and marshmallows and have a bonfire. One of the older guys would bring the guitar. He could play a guitar. We sing songs and just cook hot dogs and marshmallows and have a good time.
Yeah.
And help one another. That was the big thing. Neighbors helping neighbors. Because everybody's in the same boat. Nobody had nothing before the war, hardly. Or during the war, certainly during the war, we had less. Because everything went for the troops, and that's okay.
So it was a much more simpler time back then, right?
Oh, yeah. I mean, you know, we were lucky if there was a car in the yard. Now there's 2 or 3 cars in the yard.
You're right.
Yeah, so.
Yeah.
I don't like what I see ahead.
No. Well, I'd like to thank you for
Okay, I'm glad I could
today.
talk with you.
Yeah, it was very interesting. I learned some new things about you that I didn't know. So I'm excited to share this with other residents too. So thank you again, Dennis.
You're welcome.